Good day to members of the media and the listening public. It is often said that our young people are our most precious resource. They are the future of our country. This government has committed to and will bring about changes that benefit our youth. As highlighted in the 2021 speech from the throne and the Economic Recovery Plan, the government made a commitment to address youth unemployment by facilitating greater opportunities and educational pathways for all young Bermudians between the ages of 18 and 26 years of age. Therefore, I am pleased to announce that the Ministry of Economy and Labor, in collaboration with several other government departments and youth-led organizations, are launching the National Youth Employment Strategy. This comprehensive strategy will ensure that our young people are prepared for the present and future world of work. Currently, many of our young people are pursuing full-time tertiary education. However, a large number of educated young Bermudians, job seekers, have yet to secure employment. Through research and consultation, we have identified the most common reasons for youth unemployment include a lack of job opportunities for young people, lacking the experience required by employers, limited access to resources, lack of opportunities for less experienced job seekers, career choice uncertainty, and hurdling qualifications and skill sets that do not meet the needs of employers. Considering these challenges, the Ministry of Economy and Labor, working along private stakeholders and youth, will pool our resources to strategically address the barriers that youth face. We must work to ensure that present and future generations of Bermudians have the tools and opportunity to succeed in their home country. The Youth Employment Strategy aims to synergize all stakeholders and leverage existing mechanisms in place to prepare our young people for careers and financial success. And in doing so, we will achieve the following 9 goals. Goal number 1 strives to ensure that young Bermudians are suitably qualified and positioned to take advantage of job opportunities within the local labor market. This will be achieved by increasing local training opportunities and promoting pathways to securing employment. Goal number 2 aims to increase access to young people transitioning into the workplace by expanding career support services from high school to early employment. Goal number 3 will enrich the pool of local talent by supporting, promoting, and encouraging Bermudians to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, otherwise known as STEAM. Goal number 4 will ensure that a greater number of young people receive relevant work experience and better prepare them for gainful employment through the expansion of apprenticeship and internship opportunities. Goal number 5 aims to increase public access to relevant labor market information and career opportunities. Goal number 6 is to encourage and foster the development of future business owners in our community, especially amongst our young people, by supporting and promoting youth entrepreneurship. Goal number 7 aims to improve pathways to employment and promote support services for vulnerable youth. Goal number 8 will encourage young employees to realize their social and economic potential. The 8th goal is to revise policies to improve social protections for young people. Lastly, goal number 9, the 9th and final goal, is to facilitate the repatriation of young Bermudians by encouraging them to return home to work, live, and participate in the local economy. Over the past few decades, many Bermudians have emigrated to other parts of the world, searching for job opportunities and a lower cost of living. While this is somewhat normal, we can and must minimize the number of locals leaving. The Department of Workforce Development will spearhead the implementation of the National Youth Employment Strategy. The department will also work collaboratively with private industry to leverage resources for the successful implementation of the strategy. During the consultation process, our internal and external stakeholders indicated that they are excited and willing to support the development and launch of the Youth Employment Strategy. Some of the work to be completed by the department include modifications to the job board, which allows the youth to register for career opportunities and executing the career mapping process. In closing, this government remains committed to providing opportunities for young Bermudians so that they can develop the ability and desire to guide and lead our country's path into the future. Youth employment strategy available online at the Ministry of Economy and Labor on gov.bm.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Conley, if you got a few questions,
What are the latest youth unemployment figures?
The latest official youth unemployment figures would have been roughly around 30%.
Okay. And how do you intend to monitor any reduction in that?
What we will do is continue to track the statistics from the Labor Force Employment Survey data that is released annually. But what we aim to do is build better relationships with young people who are on island and studying abroad, so we can also track and monitor their performance as it pertains to them continuing in the world of work.
1 in 3, that just represents an abject failure of the BLP government over the last few years, isn't it?
No, that is somewhat natural for that particular demographic, where youth unemployment worldwide is somewhat around that level. What it does indicate to us that there's still work to be done in terms of reducing barriers. Understanding that this is why we're implementing the youth employment strategy so that we can reduce that rate.
Isn't that level in the UK and the US? The UK has its lowest unemployment for 50 years. This is obviously a problem in Bermuda, and it's obviously a failure of the European government.
Incorrect. What we're talking about is youth unemployment. Overall, the unemployment rate in Bermuda is at roughly around 7%.
You just said that youth unemployment was 30%.
Youth unemployment, that is unemployment between the ages of 26. But if you look at countries worldwide, your demographic of individuals have the highest unemployment rates worldwide.
I was speaking to Chris Further yesterday about youth unemployment and other things, and he's concerned about it. And he's also called for an emergency study on the cost of living crisis within 30 days. Is the government open to that?
The government is committed to addressing the cost of living.
Are you open to an emergency summit with stakeholders, as Mr. Further has called for?
The Ministry of Home Affairs is responsible for the cost of living commission, who will recommend strategies as to how we tackle our cost of living. And so certainly cost of living has been an ongoing concern for this government, and we are committed to addressing the high cost of living in Bermuda.
You're the Minister for Economy and Labour, so obviously inflation is a major economic factor. The basket of things that are used to measure the rate of inflation, that hasn't been updated in 9 years. Why is that? Is that because you're trying to mask how much inflation really is now?
Incorrect. If you look at the methodology, it's recommended that the benchmark change every 10 years.
But in most other countries, it's every 1 year, or most developed countries.
That's correct.
Well, that happens in the UK every year.
The basket of goods on an annual basis does not get revised on an annual basis because it's used as benchmarks for other economic indicators. And so in order to have a constant series of, you will not revise your basket of goods on an annual basis.
But you're still using an OBA benchmark from 9 years ago. What do you say to critics who say that we're using that to hide the real level of inflation in this territory?
That question indicates to me that you lack an understanding of how statistics is actually compiled. To say that it's an OBA benchmark when the Bermuda government Department of Statistics produces data and uses methodology that is consistent throughout the world, you are indicating to the country that certainly there is a lack of understanding as to how the data is actually produced.
I'm actually quite good at statistics, but I asked you what you would say to critics who say that you haven't updated it, which you could do. You don't have to stick to 10 years. You haven't updated it because you're trying to hide the measure of real information.
That's incorrect.
Okay. Obviously, on youth and employment, I was speaking to business leaders yesterday, and they're quite concerned about the TA. They say it's very deep. Now that the government's admitted it is a money-raiding side rather than a COVID combat one, should it now be reduced or got rid of to improve the economy? That's what business leaders are telling me.
There is no correlation between the TA form and youth unemployment.
Well, there is between business leaders are telling me. There is between the TA and the economy, which you're minister of, and that it's affecting business in a derogatory way. So shouldn't it be got rid of now rather than next March?
From my understanding and from what the BTA put out, tourism is actually improving. So I do not see the correlation between the TA and it being an impediment to business.
Business leaders are wrong, are they? I spoke to the Chamber of Commerce yesterday. They said it was great.
I've indicated my answer to that question in terms of a direct correlation between the TA and youth unemployment.
Finally, Mr. Fairmont Southampton, you want a lot of youth employment there. You said regarding you were asked about why the situation was so rushed getting the deal through, and you said about former Finance Minister, Mr. Dixon, because we have waited too long for the former Minister of Finance to close this deal, and he was unable to do so. Isn't that a very insulting thing to say about Mr. Dixon, your colleague?
That is a factual statement.
So you think he was unable to do the deal?
As I indicated, that was a factual statement at the time that was made.
It wasn't because perhaps he had a wider concept of the financial implications.
You can speculate as to why, but the statement stands.
Would you agree that Mr. Dickinson is considered the most effective ELP finance minister of at least the past decade?
You're asking me questions that are way outside the parameters of this particular interview, which is the youth employment strategy. And as a result of that, I will not provide an answer to that question.
You're not able to create a question instead of a very specific narrative.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your questions. Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you.